Hello, dear friends. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Blueprint with IDB, the podcast where we explore the minds shaping construction, creativity, and innovation. I'm your host, Sisi, and today I'm joined by Mr. Ben Warach of Wokober Foundation from the world of architecture into mentoring young innovators in northern Uganda. Mr. Ben, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Sisi.
Yes. Kylie, who is Ben? The first time I encountered it was Wokober Foundation, but who is Ben?
Thank you. Ben is an innovator. Ben is an architect. Ben is a social entrepreneur. Ben is a friend. Ben is a normal human being. A bit of my career and probably getting it into Wokober Education Foundation. I started my career in architecture. I studied at my career university where I did finish as the best student in my class. And along the way, I went into doing different architectural projects. Others were locally, others were internationally, like in South Sudan, partly in Rwanda as well. Yeah, then along the way also, I ventured into innovation, coming up with different products that would solve different problems. Among them was an electric tricycle, like the tuk-tuk you normally see, but this one had a storage cabin attached to it, which is refrigerated to help distribute perishable products like milk, fish, vegetables like tomatoes and others, to prevent it from going bad. Yeah, so that gave me a lot of exposure, travel to different places, including Switzerland, MIT, and other places across Africa. Yeah, so I felt like I was successful as a person, but there was one thing that was missing. Whenever I traveled back to my village where I was born, that is Lukwi. Lukwi is in Opiat, Moro district. I always meet young learners who always aspire to be like me. If I grow up, I want to be like Ben. Yeah, so that triggered me, or that inspired me to create a foundation, to create a space where these children, because right now they're within a space where they lack the resources, they lack the exposure, they lack the opportunity for them to explore meaningful learning, to be able to thrive in today's dynamic world. So that led me into the founding of Wokober. So as a person, I'm so much interested in architecture, but I'm also so much passionate about helping my communities, and I believe education it is the most important space, because if you empower someone to stand on their own and also to contribute to the society, then I believe that would be something that is really interesting. Yeah, so that is me. On the sides, I like to work out, I like to go to the gym, I like sports, I like music, I also like to dance. Every Tuesdays I like to dance salsa. So that's me.
Okay. So as we explore your journey into the Wokober Foundation as an architect, why do you think creative learning is an important part of the child, since you deal more with the children? Why do you think it's a very important part of the creative learning?
Yes, I think it's important because those days, if you look at the days of our fathers, when the British left Uganda, there were many job positions that needed to be filled. It was more like professional spaces. Yeah, and the opportunities were there. I remember those who were at university, before you even leave university, you already had a job aligned for you, Everything was just done.
Yes.
But things kept changing, the population kept growing, and also the opportunities kept being limited. And also we started to experience more social problems. Yeah, so as of now, the world is so dynamic, things are changing so fast. Imagine the emergence of AI, emergence of many other things, so the world is changing so fast, and also the kind of problems that we are facing right now, it is so dynamic and so diverse that we need people who can think creatively, people who can solve the problems.
Yes.
Yeah, So if you know your books from campus, you have crammed your things, things doesn't work. You go to the workplace and you have to think creatively. More especially now with IDB, you're a surveyor, you go to the field, and there are certain things that you need to think creatively on the spot. So we think creativity, sense of urgency, self-development or leadership, and a bit of entrepreneurship. I think those are skills that are so necessary, so core, that one needs to develop to thrive in today's dynamic world and even the changing world that, for tomorrow and all that. So that's why we think nurturing that is very important, and especially for the children. Let's start when their mind is still open, when their mind is still young, when there's very few limitations in their mind. This is the point where their brain is still soft. The neurons are still connecting. So that is the best moment for us to now impart those skill sets into the children. So that's why I think we need to start with children, and creativity is really important in our society today.
Amazing. As you deal with the kids, you use toys. And I'd like to find out, how is the toy making structured as a learning pathway? Interesting,
really. So as Wokober, what we've done, we have developed a new learning approach or a new curriculum to nurture this creativity, the things that I've mentioned earlier. We felt that, yes, it's important that we learn as we are learning right now. The government has provided us with a very rich curriculum that allows one to explore different spaces, And also today there's a new emergence of the new curriculum that is called the competency-based curriculum for the lower secondary, But still, there's a lot of challenges, more especially with underserved communities. You find that they still lack the resources, to implement that curriculum. And teachers are underexposed. Teachers still think competency-based learning is Payolorokon, Yupudero, those kind of things. Yes, but other places people are thinking of something like this, something that is more interesting. So that is where now Wokober comes in. We have developed a learning approach which is inspired by toy making. As a child, I used to play a lot with toys. Those days, there's sorghum stems or sorghum straws. There are wires. You pick fences, chain link fences. There are many things that you play with. Those days, it just seems as play, nothing else. Even our parents, when you're playing with that, they say, "Why are you wasting time? You just play." For me personally, it was the way I built my creativity. I didn't know then. But looking back, that is what gave me the background and even the interest to be able to create things, even in architecture and many other things. So that was the foundation of nurturing my creativity when I was still young. So what we did was to do a research in the process of toy making and understand it properly and come up with the learning approach. Now let me give you an example. Let's say a child is making something like this. The first thing that is going to come in the child's mind is, what am I going to make? That is already imagination. They're already thinking of some possibility that has not been seen before. They're only seeing it in their mind. It's imagination. Then they start to think of, what material am I going to use? Those days, you pick what is available. You pick gingea, you pick wires, you pick boxes, you pick battery cycle heads, you do wires. So you just look around what is available, and then you utilize it. And then like tools, for example, there's no one who is going to give you money to get tools. And you look also around. I remember we used to split bicycle tubes. Yes, for tying the wires. Yes, alone la rich. What you do, you peel the sorghum straw in a way that the edge is so sharp, and that's what you use. That is already ingenuity in a very unique way. So toy making, as simple as it seems, if you go into detail, there's a lot of processes that allows a child to nurture their creativity, to nurture resilience. Because sometimes, imagine you're using a hammer. you hit your hand, you're going to cry, but you're not going to stop. This small thing does not stop you from building what you want. So through understanding that, we then develop that learning approach. So now that learning approach, that is what we use to nurture the children during holidays. We call it our holiday mentorship program. As of now, we have about 35 learners within our space. And then during schools, we go to schools. We are finding ways to now integrate what you've developed into the curriculum, into the school curriculum. So there's 2 schools that we're working with right now.
Okay, talking about toys. Your toy and innovation festivals are legendary from what I've heard. Walk us through what happens. Walk us through a child's journey. Tell us about the festival. What does it have? What does it bring to the child? What do they do in that festival?
Thank you for that question. So let me step back a bit and I come and actually answer that question. So what I mentioned that we developed the Wokober learning approach, which is like a new curriculum that we're implementing. So out of that, we then created programs or like activities that we implement. And the Toy Festival is among the flagship programs. So we started in 2022 with the Toy Festival as a way to engage the communities, to test if the communities are going to buy in our idea. And trust me, people came in, others were saying these are just like children playing, having fun, nothing else. But things kept changing a bit. Things change over time. So when we started, I remember when we were only 3 days to the festival, there was only one person who registered. And we started questioning ourselves, what are we doing wrong? Or maybe we are forcing this to the people, to the communities. Maybe this is something that is not real. But surprisingly, the following day, we had 15 people registering. After that day, we had 45 people registering. Then the very day of the festival, we had 69 people paying 20,000 Uganda shillings to participate in this. And trust me, it was an amazing event.
What did you do to change that?
I don't know what happened. We didn't actually do anything. We just said, okay, if people are coming, they will come. But in our mind, we said, even if only one person comes, we're going to give our best. So the festival, what it does, it gives platform for children to come and showcase their creativity, to come and build something within an environment where they're also inspired by other children's work. That is one part of it. The other part is also to engage different stakeholders. The parents, the local leaders, different partners. Come and see what your children are doing. Yes, come and we have a dialogue in terms of how we can improve education in northern Uganda, in Africa. See how we can nurture a generation that can innovate, that can solve problems. So that was more an advocacy platform. So 2022 we had 69 participants. 2023 we had 85 participants. 2024 we had 155. This year we are planning, and our target is 300 participants to be part. And if you're out there, you want to partner with us, please. This is a good opportunity to collaborate and see how we can elevate education in northern Uganda. So a bit still on the festival. So what happens is that within the 2 days, children build anything that comes to their mind. We just give them very little assistance. Out of those who participate, we normally select between 15 to 30 that we now mentor. We give them further training and mentorship so that they nurture that skill set that they already have. Yes, and that's what we're doing right now during the holidays. So someone can start with a very simple toy, then next time they build something that actually moves on its own. There's a lot of programming, robotics in it, many other things. This is a water pump, so they get to explore as many things as possible, tailored towards solving real community problems. So
when is the next festival?
This year, 2025, December 12th and 13th, I believe. If not 13th and 14th, it's a Friday and a Saturday. In December. That is 1 week after the third term holiday for schools.
Okay. So in my research, I came across AI integrated initiatives that you're currently handling as well. How do you engineer these projects, and what are their impacts on the children that you work with and the people around them?
All right. So the AI that we are integrating into our system, it's basically to help teachers. Yeah, to help teachers. One of the things we experience as we are implementing this and working with the learners, we needed to document the processes of the learning of the children. We needed to track their progress of how they're learning. Yeah, so we found the easiest tool was actually see how we can integrate AI.
To help you follow up on them as well.
Follow up on the children, but also be able to generate data that a teacher can use. For example, for a teacher to help a child come up with this requires that the teacher knows ICT, knows a lot of things, which is not a common thing in our community. To get someone to facilitate a class with all this requires that person to have almost a degree in ICT or something like that. And the person we have right now has that kind of qualification. Yeah, so what we did was that AI is actually so bright. It's so bright. So it becomes a consultant for the teacher. If we have a teacher, maybe, pet and doesn't know as much in terms of guiding a child in a project, let's say, to build something like this. A teacher who knows that a competency-based learning is just Pylorocon or there, but the child wants to build something like this, and teacher doesn't know how to support the child in this. Then what you have built, it's an assistant that the teacher can consult, say, hey, how can I guide a child in terms of building this? What are the materials? What are the processes? So the teacher can research prior to facilitating the session. So today evening, he does all these things, the images, the drawing. Then the following day, the teacher is well equipped with the knowledge, a bit of the exposure, and then he can guide the child in that process. Yeah, so that is how we are leveraging AI to help underexposed teachers to be able to facilitate or guide a child who are doing projects, amazing projects like this one.
Amazing. So beyond the individual creativity that you instill in these children, Wokober Foundation, I understand, is impacting on the bigger system, the education system, especially in northern Uganda. How is there any long-term program or planning that we are working on to ensure that this impacts on the bigger system?
Yes, exactly. So we are looking at integrating this into the Ugandan curriculum. Starting
like, are there any teacher training programs?
Yes,
Okay.
teacher training. Yeah, teacher training. Even the AI that we've talked about is called Wokober. We want it to be quite accessible to any teacher on a free basis. Yeah, so any teacher who wants to facilitate a class like this can actually access the platform and then be able to do that. So our long term is to strengthen our evidence base and see how we can talk to the government and see that this is integrated into schools. Yeah, that is one. And then the other, we want to establish our own academy. Yes, a child who has come up with something like this, we don't want the idea to just stop at this and then be an academic project. No, if the child has the capacity and opportunity, we want to provide them with the space and the resources for them to build something that is full scale, that can actually work and solve real problems, create jobs and other opportunities for other youth or for other people in the communities. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at in the long term.
Okay. As any organization out there and within, there are bound to be challenges, yes? As you are beginning the process and to date, are there challenges that you've probably faced and that are still facing at the moment?
Yeah, building something like this requires trust, requires credibility, requires a lot, really. Like building a brand that people can trust. Yeah, and that has been the biggest challenge from day one. I remember when we started, there was only one person who came, but eventually 69 turned out. But out of that, when we reached out to different people, made calls, yeah, others were just despising it. This is being Palatino. What is Ben doing now? Ben from architecture is now playing with children and making stupid things. Other parents were saying, why are you charging 20,000 for the festival? It's 2 days. Yeah, yet school fees in some villages, they pay 10,000 for the entire term. Yeah, others are saying, this is a trick to just pull money from parents. Why are you charging us? Maybe the children will just come and play. Why? Just tricks to. So those are the early things that we had to battle with. But what kept us going were those 69 children and the parents, because they saw something that other parents were not saying. They saw something that we were saying. Yeah? So that gave us the boost and the confidence to push. So, but even that, there were still different setbacks. But whenever we engage different people, like partners, right now, Elefante Commons, when we open up, they saw what we're doing and said, this is a great thing. And right now we are partners with them, and they've given us a space. This room that we use it for free. We don't pay for it. Yeah? The other partners like WEG, the other partners like Luo Foundation, who during the festivals, they sponsor materials, they sponsor many other things. And just last week, on Monday, the ambassador of the United States actually visited Wokober, to validate and say, guys, what you're doing is unique. Right. Yes, what you're doing is really matters a lot. Yeah, keep pushing. And we have reached a point where we have a database of over 200 parents. Parents who help us to communicate with others. And then schools actually. And at the beginning, schools were also having their own doubts. But right now, we already have 2 schools that we already signed MOU with, and we're implementing our program into their schools. And actually, we are having partners also globally, other universities in the United States. Yeah, so that has been the hardest part, to get a buy-in from the communities and say, this is what these guys are doing is unique, and let's rally behind it. And then, of course, the other part is resources and finances. As you're beginning, it is very hard for anyone to support you. Yeah, so for me on my other end, I was doing architecture. That money, I was plowing it in this organization for payrolls, for cater for other expenses and other things. Yeah, so those are majorly the two problems that we've been facing, which are challenges.
For listeners willing to bring in hands-on creativity and join the system, where should they start? What materials do you need? What exactly do they need to do? Where should they approach for them to join the system?
Okay, so we have 2 categories. If you are a school and you have a school, and your school's mission is really connected to what we do, to nurture creativity, to nurture innovations, practical hands-on skills, exploration of science, technology, then reach out to us and we're going to partner with you and then see how we can integrate this into part of your school program. That is one. So you can just reach out to Wokober's email, which is wokober.i@gmail.com. Or you can reach out to me on WhatsApp or direct phone call, which is 0784041804. That's when you have a school. Then parents who have children who would like to be part of this, visit our offices at Wokober, rather at Elefante. Our offices at Elefante Commons. You come to the gate, you ask for Wokober, they will take you to our offices. Then you're going to interact with our facilitators or even myself. So there will be some little facilitation fees that will be required, depending on how long you would want the child to learn with us. And then we shall also guide you in terms of how you, even as a parent, can guide the child from home as he's continue to learn in the creativity, in the innovation space. Yeah, so majorly that. Yeah.
Okay, so toy making, festivals and everything, these are targeted towards the children, the kids, the young ones. Is there any plan or program by Wokober Foundation to integrate the adults? As we know, this is something that some of us adults don't even know about, and it can still be very helpful for us as adults. Is there any plan or program for that?
Yeah, thank you for that. We started with the children. Actually, our very first target was age of 3 to 15. Yeah, because we wanted the children, their mind is still open. Their mind sees many possibilities. Whereas as adults, there are many responsibilities that sort of diminishes or doesn't allow us to fully explore ourselves. We always have these rigid boxes that defines us. So that's why we have been focusing majorly on the children, yeah, because there's more opportunities with them. But nonetheless, we have opened up our age bracket up to the age of 25, yeah, to target those who are leaving high school, those who are joining universities, or those who are even leaving universities who would need these skill sets. Yeah, so that's what we're looking into. But even beyond that, we still open to working with anyone who have any creative project or creative idea that they need to be nurtured. Yeah, within our space they can do that. Actually, there are some students from Good University who came and worked with us, and they went ahead to represent Africa at the international, the global Huawei ICT competition. They won second prize.
Interesting.
So they started from Gulu here. They represented Gulu University at national level. They won. Then they represented Uganda in East Africa level. They won. They represented East Africa at Africa level. They won. Then they were selected to represent Africa at the global stage in China. Yeah. So those who have ideas like that, they can work with us. People can volunteer with us as well. But we are going to create a program that majorly helps to tailor towards those who want to become entrepreneurs. Yeah, if you have a business idea or some project, we can then nurture you. Yeah, that would be much better than sitting in a class like the children. The children are just still exploring. Really. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yes, as we wrap up, one word to describe Wokober in 2025.
One word to describe Wokober in 2025.
Or a sentence, probably.
Ingeniously a better world. I'll keep it that way. That is our tagline. If there's anything you would want to remember about Wokober, just think of ingeniously a better world. Creatively building a better world. That is it.
Thank you so much, Ben. So education doesn't need expensive tech. It's all about creativity and the community, as we have heard from Wokober Foundation. Yes, so we invite the community to come in and support. We have heard about the festivals, we have heard about the programs. Join in and let's have our children design the vision of our future with us. Thank you very much for staying with us in this episode. Hope to see you again on the next episode at IDB. This is Beyond the Blueprint with IDB. Thank you.